Chicago Transit Authority, the rock group Chicago, numbered each of their first 20 studio albums, except for album number 12. What was its title? Some guys dash.
Greatest hits?
No, can you take it, Deviants? Deviants laureate.
Chicago Live?
No, it's Hot Streets. Still playing for that 40-point bonus. On a boxing poster in Drop Johnson's apartment in the film Miller's Crossing is the name Lars Torvald, a reference to the character Lars Torvald, played by Raymond Burr, in what Alfred, some guys, Vincent?
Rear Window.
Rear Window is what he played. Correct. Time is out. Identify these Southern universities from their distinctive fight songs. Time is back in. Please give me your list of four.
All right, LSU, first one.
Oh, that was Rocky Top.
That's Tennessee. Alabama for the second.
Correct.
Georgia Tech for the third.
That's correct.
Texas A&M for the fourth.
Fourth was Miami and Florida, but you have two of those for 20 points. It's okay.
Thank you for the Florida.
All right. Playing now for a 40-point bonus. Here's the toss-up. What rival company to Ronco that began by some guys? Hey. K-Tel? K-Tel is the rival to Ronco. Buzzsaw. All right, some guys. From 2002 to 2013, Forbes magazine published the Forbes Fictional 15, a list of the 15 wealthiest persons who in reality do not exist. I'll describe a member. You identify him, her, or it. First, listed in 2008, he lives in Washington, D.C., has infinite wealth, getting his money through engraving. He will be 242 in July.
Is that Cullen Carlisle?
I like it when you get so uppity. It's actually Uncle Sam. Yeah, he does pretty well. A list perennial on the list. This octogenarian is now worth over $29 billion, which he derived from mining and treasure hunting from all his base of operations in Duckburg, USA.
Scrooge McDuck.
That's correct. Another perennial on the list. He has either been second or third on every list. This 10-year-old's $12.3 billion was derived from inheritance and conglomerates.
Richie Rich.
That's correct. And finally, this Atlantic City denizen has a purported net worth of $800 million from real estate. And I want their name.
Okay.
Rich Uncle Money.
It's Rich Uncle Pennybags. You got two of those for 20 points. All right, this is 17-11. Okay. 14. Listen, this is your audio toss-up. Comedy Central has been known to produce their own TV musical parodies. From the following clip, identify the person that is the subject of the song by first and last name and the title of the song used as the parody vehicle.
OJ's house is nuts.
Some guy, Steve.
Video Kalen, Rick Alfonte's Dale, Banana Boat Song.
Yeah, Banana Song is correct. You got both of those. All right, some guys. Answer the following questions about the Dan Patrick Sports Talk Show, radio show, and TV show. 10 points each. Dan's cohorts, Paulie, Fritzy, McLovin, and Seaton, are known so collectively by what nickname?
The bullpen?
No, they're the Danettes. What is the nickname given to the studio where the show takes place? What did you say? The Dan Cave? No, it's the Man Cave. What selection is usually made by Fritzy on Fridays?
It's not the tweet of the week.
It's Cougar of the Week. And finally, callers often begin their calls by announcing what statistics about themselves.
Height and weight.
Height and weight. You got 1 for 10 points. That's all you deserve. You're correct. Right, playing for a multimedia bonus, here's your toss-up. 18 Hall of Fame football players have at some point become a head coach in the NFL or the AFL. However, only one went on to win a Super Bowl. Name this infamous coach. Some guys, Vincent.
Mike Ditka.
Dick guy is correct for 10 points. All right, let's roll. No, time's up. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to need those extra toss-ups. We will show you an album cover of a recent popular collection, and you give us only the musical artist or group who produced it. Don't you call it close? No, that's fine. No.
This is
I don't want you to get Ready? Yeah.
It looks like Johnny Cash from last year.
It is Johnny Cash. Yes.
Strokes.
No, it's the Kings of Leon. Yeah, the other one. He's a rapper.
Oh.
That's what my dad would say. He's rapping. Anything?
Kanye.
That's Lil Wayne. Finally,
Very, very good.
there's a monkey. Very good. Anything?
That's the Strokes.
Those are the new pornographers. You got one of those for 10 points. Playing now for a 40-point bonus. Here's the toss-up. Nick at Night likes to do, this is 17-13 by the way. Nick at Night likes to do mashups of TV and music feeds. Identify the TV show and the musical artist from the 80s and 90s mashup based on this audio clip. So guys, Steve.
Well, it's way too early on that. Susan Vega and Tom's Diner, friends. Where there's a diner.
No, I'm not going to give you a 5-point penalty. Can you take it? Devious. Sorry.
Continue to play.
On the sofa, there's a TV in the corner. I am watching Major Nelson. He is played by Harry Hyde.
Lori.
It's Suzanne Vega, Tom's Diner, and I Dream of Jeannie.
That's correct for 10 points. All right, Deviants, Rear Window was unavailable for decades because Alfred Hitchcock bought the rights to the film along with 4 others and left those rights to his daughter. The films were known as the 5 Lost Hitchcocks. They were re-released in 1984 after a 30-year absence. Name the other 4 films.
How many are there?
4.
Strangers on a Train, Lifeboat, Trouble with Harry, and Vertigo.
Give you 20 for The Trouble with Harry, Vertigo. The other 2 were The Man Who Knew Too Much and Rope. But you got 2 of those for 20 points. Playing now for a 30-point bonus. Here's the toss-up. This song contains the title of an Alfred Hitchcock movie. It was the first hit for the Talking Heads and inspired by Norman Bates. Name it. Deviant Flooring.
Psycho Killer.
The comeback is on. You're correct for 10 points. All right, Dee, it's only 3 times in Super Bowl history did a quarterback who was not the season starter come in and not only play, but win the Super Bowl. For 5 points each, name the Super Bowl winner and the season starting quarterback. So for the 2018 Philadelphia Eagles. Started on game 1 and then the one who won the Super Bowl. 5 points.
Nick Foles started game 1, and Bernie Kosar was. No, I'm taking that back.
That's a good idea, Bob. Carson Wentz, what part of the year did he play in? Did he start the first game of the Super Bowl?
He was the first guy, and
Yes.
Foles was the second.
Thank you, yes, 10 points. That was like pulling teeth. How about 1990 New York Giants? I'm getting heckled on stage here.
Bill Sims,
Bill Sims, yes. And you have the person who played in Super Bowl. That was Jeff Hostetler. Finally, the 1987 Washington Redskins. Got anything? Was it him? I think they played the Broncos. The game one.
Williams,
Yeah, I'll give you that. Doug Williams played in the Super Bowl. The starter was Jay Schrader. You have 4 of those for 20 points. 40-point bonus. Here's the toss-up. Wonder Warthog, Oat Willie, and the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers were comic characters created by what? Some guy with Diego.
that's our from.
5-point penalty. I repeat the question for the deviants. Wonder Warthog, Oat Willie, and the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers were comic characters created by what undergrad artist?
Deviants Bill. I think that's Gilbert Shelton.
It is Gilbert Shelton. You got Gilbert Shelton. All right, deviants. There are so many reality shows these days, it's hard to keep them apart. I'll provide the name of a reality show. You give me the current host. So you think you can dance. Rich Engel's going to be a contestant next year. It's true. Anything?
No.
It's Cat Dealing. How about The Amazing Race?
Joe Rogan?
That's Phil Kogan.
Oh, Kogan.
How about Top Chef?
Tom Colicchio?
That's Padma Lakshmi. And finally, Big Brother.
Julie Chen?
Julie Chen, you got one of those for 10? Playing for a 30-point bonus, here's the toss-up. What 2010 pop song starts with the lyrics, "There's a stranger in my bed, there's a pounding in my head"? That was Katy Perry's last Friday night. Still playing with a 30-point bonus. In 30 Rock, John Hamm plays Dr. Drew Baird, occasional romantic interest of Liz Lemon. In one episode, it's revealed that Drew's sister is actually his mother. What Chinatown actor spent 30
Jack Nicholson.
spent 30 years believing his mother was actually his sister? You're correct for 10 points. Identify these TV game show hosts by the descriptions of what they did prior to their most famous job. This host started out as a DJ in Burbank, California, where he was discovered in 1956. Hired to host a daytime version of Truth or Consequences, he spent 19 years there before joining his most famous show.
Bob Barker.
That's correct. This man was a concert promoter before becoming host of this famous game show. In 1964, he brought the Beatles to the Hollywood Bowl and joined LA's KRLA station as a DJ, where Chuck Barris hired him in 1966 for his most famous job.
Bob Eubanks.
Yeah, it is Bob. It's Chuck Eubanks. It's Bob. It's Bob. Yeah, that was a Rich Engel question. So, number 3. This man was a page at NBC Studios in 1936. It wasn't until 1947 that he got his break as half a radio team in New York. By 1954, he was hosting The Sky's the Limit when he became the announcer on Steve Allen's The Tonight Show. He got his most famous gig in 1973. Did you guess?
Bill Collins?
No, it was Gene Rayburn, but you got two of those for 20 points. Playing now for a 40-point bonus, here's your toss-up. Murphy Brown got me at her baby shower. Bernice gave me to the Designing Women gang. President George H.W. Bush told C-SPAN that Marvel and Fitzwater had busted me. When Mel Gibson woke up in the 1992 movie Forever Young, I was the first thing he saw. You know me better as a personal workout device sold via an infomercial by Suzanne Summers.
Deviant Flurry.
Fine Master?
Fine Master is correct. Our ideas for 4 TV shows are tied for the most Emmy Awards, one for Outstanding Drama Series. Name any 3 for 10 points each.
ER?
No.
Nash.
No. Drama. Anything?
Perry Mason?
No, I would have accepted Hill Street Blues, LA Law, The West Wing, and Mad Men. No points. Playing for a 40-point bonus, here's the toss-up. It has channels for esports, speedrunning, charity streams, and just about every game out there. Some of the most popular games on it are League of Legends, Dota 2, Hearthstone, and Overwatch. Name this video game streaming platform acquired by Amazon in 2014.
Some guy Halo.
That Twitch TV?
That is Twitch TV. All right, some guy. I'll name the leader of a musical band or organization. You do the name of his associated group. How about George Thorogood?
Destroyers.
How about Fred Waring?
Pennsylvanians.
How about Johnny Cash?
Tennessee 3.
Tennessee 2 as well.
Tennessee 3.
Well,
Right, they were right.
Thank you, Rich. You got all 3 of those